And welcome to In Your Face. I'm Tonya Washington.
And I'm Miss Alynette. And welcome to another episode
Of
In Your Face. Well, topic today. Now, I went to the movies on Monday night. A couple of girlfriends and I got together because we've been hearing rave reviews about this movie called Amy.
Yes.
Now, this movie is a documentary about Amy Winehouse, who was a British pop star. She was a pop star, but really her style of music was R&B, it was blues, it was soul, or what they call blue-eyed soul, jazz. She was an incredible songwriter.
Okay.
She passed away at the age of 27 in 2011.
That's really
Basically,
early.
she passed away from alcohol poisoning. Well, this movie, if you have not seen it, it's called Amy. It's playing at select theaters. You got to go out and see it. It's just a testament to what is going on in our culture. And I posted up on my Facebook page. You can check it out, Alynette, Alley Cat. Because I was just absolutely thrown by this movie. Now, I know about Amy Winehouse because she did have some success in the United States. She had a song called Rehab. It's like, they try to make me go to rehab, but I said no, no, no. And in the song,
she's trying to sing.
Yeah, in the song, it's really funny because this song is really about her life. It's a testament to
she's testimony.
And that's what a lot of her songs were, just testimony in music. And she says in the song as well, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, that I don't have to go to rehab. Now this poor woman rose to stardom, and in the movie she basically says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to handle it if I become a huge celebrity. Like she basically said.
Oh, wow.
And all of this is it's a documentary. Basically, her friends videoed her, people that were on the road with her, video just of her talking.
A video diary?
Yeah, it's a video diary, basically, of her life and her being on the road and different times her on stage performing. And the really cool thing about this movie, Amy, is that they, as she's singing, they post the lyrics up of her songs, and it basically just it's a blueprint to what's going on in her life. It's just right there, plain as day. She's explaining everything that's going on in her life.
Well, it sounds to me like she was seeking for help.
Oh,
if she was screaming out for help.
Well,
if she's doing that.
The thing about this woman, Amy Winehouse, is that her father basically abandoned her and her mother.
Okay.
To go with another woman.
Well, typical issue.
Yeah, it's very popular. Like it's a very popular thing. But at the same time, she also had a boyfriend.
Okay.
This woman she had a boyfriend that basically was no good. Well,
yeah.
And she was young and she was going through it, and she didn't have a father in her life that was there and saying, no, you can't do this. Her mother.
Let me stop right here. I mean, it's not unnatural for her to have like you said, a bad boyfriend, because she's already spewing out so much negative. So she's going to attract you will attract what you are. So if that's what she's feeling, that's exactly what she's going to attract.
Well, okay. So her and this guy got together, and they're doing drugs together. They're drinking together. She was so latched on to him, and and he ended up going to jail. Her grandmother, the one person in her life that actually cared about her and was there for her and never left her side, passes away. Her friends say, we can't watch you do this to yourself. Basically, this woman is bulimic. She's drinking and she's doing drugs, and her friends backed away and said, I can't watch you do this to yourself.
I can't hear you say that, friends, because to me, that's not a friend. Because to me, I feel a friend is going to be there through the good times and the bad, and most definitely the bad, because that's when you need them. You don't need them really in the good times.
No.
We need you when it's the bad times, because that, to me, that shows that you're a friend. That shows that you love me. That shows that you care about me. You just don't just best, like, okay, if you're married to somebody and the person develops cancer, let's say the worst thing, cancer. Okay, this is the time to bail out, or is this the time to come together and help?
Okay, so they attempted. This is where it gets tough. It gets tougher. It just gets worse and worse and worse, because they attempted to reach out to her, do an intervention, and her celebrity was so intense and so real in the British culture. I don't know if you've seen like the paparazzi, Princess Diana, she basically died because the paparazzi was chasing her.
Right.
Like, it is so intense. Like, in the movie, you just see flash, 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 and she's just like, oh, help me, help me, help me. And they tried to do an intervention with her, and then it didn't work because all the paparazzi was just all there. So she had no privacy and all of that. So
you're saying because of the paparazzi, she couldn't make it through the intervention?
It was publicized.
Yeah.
So she never had like a moment to go through all of this alone. You know what I'm saying?
There was more going on with this young woman.
There was a lot more going on.
I don't think she could mentally she couldn't handle.
Okay, but check this out. She didn't have anybody in her life, because the boyfriend or whatever, they ended up finding a way to go to rehab together. They were literally.
Well, first of all, that's a no-no.
Because daddy don't mind, and daddy didn't put his foot down and say no, because this man.
Daddy was never there. Daddy never really cared. Daddy didn't really have a connection with his daughter.
But he came back. He came back because
after she was famous?
After she was famous.
All right, then. So that says it right there.
And all she wanted was the love and acceptance of her father.
She wanted
so
the father.
Everything that he said to do, this woman did. Now, even when she was suffering on drugs, bulimic, and real thin, barely seeing or whatever, he's still putting her out on tour.
Because he doesn't care. All he cares about the money. That's what he's saying.
So
if my child is sick, am I still going to force you out there to be on stage? No. You're going to care more about her, what's going on with her, than you are making that dollar.
But I'm just, this movie was, and the life of this woman, Amy Winehouse, it was just so tragic. Like, there was no one there. And I actually felt away because I was sitting there in my seat at the movie theater, angry because of her, the way she had to deal with these men in her life, and just trying to reach out to anybody for trust to guide her in the right direction.
Right.
And they were just, the people she looked up to were just guiding her, and we're not keeping her safe
because she didn't have real people.
Yeah, and it made me really reflect on my own personal relationships with the men in my life, and my own struggles with not my father not being there, losing my grandfather, who I was very close to and was the only real male figure in my life, him passing away and losing him. But thank the good Lord that I had a grandparent, my grandmother. She never, ever, ever left me.
Right.
Because if I didn't have that, who knows? What could have happened?
Right. Because it is very important. And like I said, when you're thrown into that kind of industry so fast, and you're young, you're not mentally mature enough. And that's what that father should have, if he was the right kind of dad. Obviously he wasn't, because he walked down their life. So what's that say about the man anyway? So if being in that kind of industry, and she had the kind of support, the strong foundation from her family, I'm sure this woman, she could have made it. But when you have that weak foundation, it tells us, it tells us in the Word. Let's go to the Bible. Let me tell you something in the Bible. It says when you build your house on sand, okay, when the storm comes and the wind blows, great, the fall is of that house. So that's why God instructs us to build a strong foundation. When you build a strong foundation, and when that storm comes and the wind blows, that house stands strong. So, and that's what people need to understand. It's not talking literally about a house. It's talking about you as an individual. Build a strong foundation. So it tells you about Amy, that her foundation was very weak. And it didn't just start with her. It started before her.
Yeah.
So this girl, she had her beginning, her ending was already there.
Yeah.
Because of the foundation that she was raised in.
Okay, well, this is In Your Face. We're talking about the Amy Winehouse story, which is in theaters right now. Go check it out if you haven't seen the movie. We're going to come back on In Your Face and talk more about this movie. I'm actually going to read what I posted on Facebook. I got a lot of response from this. A lot of people responding to Amy Winehouse's life, and actually in reference to my own personal struggle with my father and other men and how we feel about them. And you need to be supportive. You got to be there for your daughters, men. This is In Your Face. I'm Miss Alynette. This is Tonya Washington. We'll be right back. And welcome back to In Your Face. I'm Miss Alynette. This is Tonya Washington. And we've been talking about the release of the movie Amy, which is the story of Amy Winehouse. And I saw this movie and it really, really broke my heart to see this young girl going through this, basically a path to her own self-destruction, when she was so talented, and obviously God had given her this amazing gift, to the point where she did a duet with Tony Bennett, who is like an amazing jazz, R&B singer, blues singer. And he stood there while she was singing in awe of this woman while she was singing. She was amazing. But all of the things that she went through, it made it so her light was snuffed out at the age of 27. She died in 2011. And when I watched this movie, I put a post up on my Facebook that got a lot of response. I wanted to just read it. I said, I finally got a chance to watch this documentary on the life of Amy Winehouse. I now have a better understanding on the impact she left on the music with her untimely departure from this life. I was heartbroken by her story, mostly by the lack of decent men in her life. Made me reflect on my own personal struggles with men. It's a definite must-see, a warning about the poisons of fame, addiction, our cultural obsession with celebrity, and how a combination of these elements snuffed out a light from the world too soon. R.I.P. Amy, my heart aches for you.
Well, what I can
now,
say about
you
that.
have not seen the movie.
No, I have not seen the movie.
You have not
you know
seen
what?
the movie.
And I don't really know the artist, but when I read your post on Facebook, your post, it did touch me. Mm-hmm. It made me want to go see the movie, just like a lot of people, when you posted it, it made a lot of people go see the movie, because some people had said to me before, they didn't even like this woman.
Yeah.
But when you wrote that post, it kind of opened it up.
Yeah.
And it's making them more. So what you did a great thing. I give you an applause for doing that. I'm giving you the reason why I'm giving you an applause for the simple fact, because the people who had a different view, when they go see the documentary, and then their view would change. Hey, this woman, she was in a dark place in her life.
Dark place.
Instead of just thinking, she was just a drug addict, or she was just whatever, she was just out there. Now you open up their mind to make them think that this girl had issues,
problems.
She had problems. She was trying to, I would say, self-medicate.
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
okay.
Yes.
And knowing that's not going to help. It doesn't help the problem is not going to go away. To me, the only solution that I can say for me, everything for me is spiritual. That's what's going to heal you. Pills are not going to heal you. Alcohol is not going to heal you. Sleeping with various men is not going to heal you. You cannot look for the love in your father. Okay, the father, if your natural father is not taking his role like he should, look towards your heavenly father, because he can be your natural father. He is your father. He loves you more than your natural parents. But you got to sit there. You got to put faith in God. You got to trust in God. You got to get a relationship with God, and all those things can turn around for you.
Definitely.
Yes, I mean that's what I have to say. But I didn't know her. But you're making me curious to go see this documentary.
Man, I just could not deal with the amount of. One of the things I just feel is just our obsession with celebrity culture. Like, this woman could not get a moment of peace.
Well, Alynette, that's just the way that it is.
I know that's the way it is. I know that's the way it is. You take the good with the bad.
Right.
But, it's just like, if I have a problem, if I have an addiction, and they just made a mockery of her.
Well, that's just the thing.
And it's really a disease. It's a disease.
I understand what you're saying.
And it gives you a light to, I did not know, I knew that she had a problem. I knew she had an addiction. I knew she was struggling with alcohol mostly, but I did not know that she was bulimic at all.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. Okay, they deserve some privacy. But when you step in that kind of field, I mean, that just comes apart.
But it's also another point is that she did take a moment to try to escape all that. Mm-hmm. She went off to St. Lucia and stayed on the island for about a month, just kind of staying away. Mm-hmm. But guess who was with her?
Her boyfriend.
Her daddy.
Oh, her daddy. The other loser. The other loser.
The daddy was there, and he's pimping her out, making her take photos with people on the beach, just not giving her a moment of rest.
You know what? What I can say about that, I mean, her daddy's still alive, right?
Yeah. He's struggling.
Well, exactly. So God will deal with him. That's the thing. We can't deal with that. God will take care of it because God knows the man's heart. He knows what he did. He knows what role he played in that. And God will handle that man.
Yeah.
For using that girl. If he used her or whatever, God bless your soul, Father.
Yeah, it was a cold game, boy. It just made me think about, just not having any real male role model. Like, my grandfather, he passed away. There were a few men that were in my life, but none that were consistent and there and just strong and held me up and said, no, we don't do that. Yeah. We don't do that.
And that's what's so important where dads, that's why when I'm going to be doing a seminar talking about fatherless sons and daughters, and that's to teach women, choose right. Mm-hmm. When you choose men, not, okay, let's say if you break up or whatever, but that type of man, he's going to be there for his child. He's not going to skip out on his child. So women need to learn how to choose right. Get to know the person, and actually not just the person. Look at the family. Look how the family dynamics are, because basically this person is raised by this family, and if you see this family, basically what kind of individual man that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. So people just say, "Oh, I just love him." No, don't just love him. It ain't just about loving him. Look over there. Look at the foundation. To know if he's going to be there for his child. There's a case, a breakup does happen. That man's going to be there.
That is a tough thing because people are out here having kids with just.
That's why talks.
Come on,
but that's why
That's why figure out. Don't.
That's why.
Don't have babies with just anybody. But listen, don't do it.
Listen. That's why talk. That's why talks are important. People say, okay, it's a waste of your time. No, as long as you have breath in your body, I figure it's not a waste of time because somebody's going to hear you. Somebody's going to listen. Somebody's going to grab a hold of that. So we just can't just keep our mouths shut. We got to keep on doing what we do.
No.
Right?
Maybe that's why I'm 40 years old with no children.
Honey, look, you're doing the right thing. You didn't give it to me. You didn't have a baby with any kind of Joe Blow.
Did you just say Joe Blow?
I sure enough did. I said God. Joe Blow. Okay, just some random guy, some random nut.
No, anybody that wasn't going to take care of me and my child, that's it. Any dude, this is not going to happen. This is not. I'll stay single.
No,
just me. Hold on, just me and Jesus. No. Me and Jesus.
That's wise. Yeah. That's wise because you don't want to see because you have a child with the Joe Blow, and then what happens is
you have to saying Joe Blow. I'm saying like one of those little blow up guys.
Look,
just say blow Joe.
They can't have children. Okay. I'm talking about a real Joe Blow, which is a loser. That's what that means, loser.
Loser. Oh, loser. That's a better word. I like loser.
No, but I like Joe Blow better.
I don't. I just see the blow up guy. I just see him.
No, but anyway, this is the very series we're talking about. We're talking about Amy Winehouse, the girl who just passed away back, you said 2011.
She left us a real impact on music, amazing artist, and she lost her life in 2011 from alcohol poisoning.
Yes.
Because she just had no one in her corner that was protecting her. Now, if that was my girlfriend,
right.
I would have snatched her by the back of her head and been dragging her in the street, and
you go.
Would
wait a minute, hold up. This girl got her phone on and we on air. Now you know that's a no-no. Now how professional is she? Check this out.
I just read something from my phone and my alarm went off.
Excuse.
My bad.
No excuse.
My bad.
No excuse. Anyway.
It was the alarm telling her to shh.
Anyway, this is In Your Face, and we're talking about Amy Winehouse, right?
Yeah, we are. So if you have not seen that movie yet, go check it out. It's called Amy. It's playing in select theaters. I think it's a must-see, not just because of the story of Amy Winehouse,
right,
but also to just understand about addiction, to understand about the celebrity culture and like our obsession with it, with fame and what it can do to people, and go see.
And if you look at the other thing you showed, you had the poster on your social media.
Yeah, the poster on
my social media. If you would go back on there, go look at the poster, the movie poster, and you can look in this woman's eyes and you can see depression, you can see sadness, you can see it all in her eyes. You can see it. That there was no light, there was no bright, there was no life in this woman's eyes. So you can see right there that this woman was going through some stuff.
Well, you have a little bit of insight,
And what
insight.
Is it? And
I just see pain.
Okay, whatever you see, but it ain't good.
No,
it's not a good sign. It's, pain, sadness, darkness. You see all that. You can the eyes are just dead. Just like, remember the time about Robin Williams and people didn't know he was going through all that depression the whole time.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, if you look at all his pictures, even though he had a smile on his face, you can see the eyes were sad. Mm-hmm. They were sad eyes.
Yeah.
They were not happy eyes. They were not eyes full of life. Even though he made the whole entire world laugh.
No
but
one
he couldn't
knew
make himself
what
laugh.
Depression.
Exactly.
Depression is so.
And let me tell you something.
We need to do a whole show on depression.
Let me tell you something.
We need to do a whole. I'll tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let's do a whole show on depression.
Let me tell y'all something. Depression is of the devil. I'm sorry. I just had to go there. Depression is of the devil. It's not of God. People say, okay, I know God. I have a relationship with God. No, you don't. If you're depressed, you don't. Get up out of it. Put your faith back in God. Talk to God to bring that light back in. I think I talked about Jesus a lot, huh? I'm sorry. I just got to lift him up. Go ahead.
And that's another episode of In Your Face. I'm Miss Alynette. This is Tonya Washington. I think we're going to do a show on depression very soon.
I think so.
Much love to the Heritage Media Group, and we'll see you next time on In Your Face.
What?